to another edition of BeerAmerica.tv. What are you laughing at?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I am Paul Leone with
John Pinkerton.
And
David Little.
There we go. Nice.
Sorry, David Little.
And there we go, David Little. And today we have
Make self-conscious, man.
we have a beer that made a fine showing in our best beers of 2008, our favorite beers
Indeed.
of 2008. And that would be Allagash. And even though Allagash wasn't this particular Allagash, but this is Allagash White that we're trying today.
Right.
And where's Allagash out?
Portland, Maine.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right,
My buddy Rob Todd.
And it's a Belgian wheat
My
beer.
man.
And every time I had heard of Allagash, actually the first time I heard of Allagash, everybody says, "Oh, do you have your wheat beer?" No, I've never had the wheat beer. And I know everybody's had the wheat beer. I've not had the wheat beer. But for your pick for 2008, you had the triple.
Yes.
And Chris, yours was the no, you had the local one.
I had Hugh Malone.
Yeah, there you go, Hugh Malone. Yeah. Hugh Jazz. You had the Hugh Jazz beer. The Hugh Malone beer. But they were both Allagash, and Chris and I picked the local one. So we have the Allagash White, which I seem to be the only guy that's never had Allagash White. I mean, you guys, is it like their most? Is it their most like?
It's
their top of the line Allagash, or
that's what they
most
sell
popular?
the most of. That's what they sell the most of.
It's one of my favorite white beers.
Really? Okay.
One of my favorite white beers.
Why is that?
My favorite white beer is no longer made.
Are we doing a group hug now? Or
No, I'm just bringing you in the
Sorry,
front,
yeah, sorry, I'm drifting out. So it is one of your favorite white beers. It seems to be a lot of people because everybody says Allagash White is the beer that they like to drink.
Yeah, it's the one they sell the most of.
So is it a twist off or?
Yeah, this is like the
No, it's
pure
definitely not a
sugar.
twist off.
It is actually.
I should. I've twisted.
Come on.
Yeah. No. Oh, you suck.
Wow.
Go ahead. Here, open it. Hold your mouth.
You got the fingers of steel, man.
Go ahead and give it a pour. Show them the color.
All right, here we
Well,
go.
the beauty of this one, it's an unfiltered beer. So I mean, like it's a Belgian white.
Which
so
I've
it should
become
be
a fan
unfiltered.
of and really didn't know what unfiltered beers were until all of this.
And I was going to do it before I opened it, but
Oh,
oh, you got too much.
look. Sorry, guys.
And John is sampling.
John got overserved. Let
Actually-
me see what I can do here.
Here, you can.
No, you go ahead and drink.
No,
No, really. No, you can't.
John doesn't like this beer, so hey, here I want to look at a difference now. I stirred that one up a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can
And now
actually see. I don't know if
look
you can point it to the camera. Is that the little bit of a sediment?
Yep, it's the
You can see
yeast.
it? Yep, the
But
yeast.
John's actually, look at John's. That's the way it really
Hold it right
ought
up
to
there.
look.
See if they can see it.
Well, you know, truth be told, the thing about wit beers is that it's not necessarily the yeast that makes it cloudy.
Thank you.
Traditional wit beers are cloudy because of starch. The whole idea with the original wit beers is that they would actually use an enormous amount of raw wheat, which is, in the brewing world, I'm going to throw out some brewing vernacular here, it's very, very difficult to work with. When the louder time, it just turns into a big bunch of mush. And so the old Belgian tradition is that they would use these like baskets at the end of sticks and like dip it into the mash and like dribble out. I mean, it would take many, many hours to get a batch of wit through the process. Nowadays, other methods are employed. I'm guessing this is probably yeast. I don't know a whole lot about their methods, but but it could also be proteins.
Hold it right up there.
But
see
the
if they
big
can
thing
see
with
it.
the big thing is that it was starch.
We're talking about.
traditionally.
So you can see
Starch
a little. I don't know if
aids.
you can see the little bit of sediment in here, but it's a little cloudy. It's not like clear like you'd get with.
And that's why it's a white beer.
Right. Some of like the session beer that we have done before in the past. So it's nice and clear, but this one's a little cloudy. I'll tell you what.
Nose on that
I've got
is
my own
amazing.
impressions of this. But you
I
tell
love
me.
the nose.
Tell me what you think.
What I think? Well, what always gets me about the wit beer is I love the coriander. I'm a huge fan of coriander, and the coriander plays very nicely off the traditionally it's Curacao bitter orange. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they're using, but to me, I'm pretty sure of it because it has that classic wit flavor. There's a little touch of the phenol that you would expect in a Belgian beer.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I'm not getting a lot of sour. Some of the Belgians have a little touch of sour.
Sure.
The traditional methods employed, lactobacillus and pediococcus and et cetera, et cetera.
The what? The what? The what?
Hooty whatty? Some of the souring bacteria, like lactobacillus and pediococcus.
Michael Dukakis?
Olympian.
But this is
Pediococcus.
pediococcus.
Olympia Dukakis.
Foot Caucus being a small round. I assume.
I'm just trying to clarify.
Club-footed. Yeah, go ahead.
I assume that the original Pediococcus strain was some sort of foot fungus or something. I don't know. That sounds really gross, but.
Or a child.
Or what?
Or from a child.
Pedio, the Latin derivative of.
Pediatrician.
But you digress.
Yeah.
So it's,
moving on.
yeah,
Moving on.
So but it has. But what I was going to get back to you is that it has a characteristic which I had said in the past, which I'm learning about Belgians, because Belgians seem to be wide-ranging to me, although they seem to be very popular. I taste some similarities in all of them. Yeah. And is it the phenol, and as you were mentioning?
Yeah, I think an important characteristic of a wit beer is going to be a little touch of that phenol character. I don't necessarily taste this as being like clovey, but it's a little.
I taste a little sweetness. That's what I was going to say.
Well, there's definitely some body there
that I don't get in most Belgians.
A lot of wit beers will come out fairly dry. Even the archetype Hoegaarden nowadays is pretty darn dry. I mean, it's a fairly thin beer. But what helps kind of support that is using the raw wheat. You get a sort of a fat mouthfeel by the use of that raw wheat. But it can also just be, laying in a little bit more of the unfermentable sugars in the mash side.
It's really nice. I got to say, for Belgians, and I don't know how. I mean, I can see why it's popular, because I got to tell you, for as far as a Belgian goes, this one is kind of one of my. I got to rate it up there pretty high.
Well,
I think is
it's very approachable.
Yeah.
Real easy. It's not challenging. There's enough body there, enough flavor there, so that that you feel like you've drunk something, but it doesn't fill you up. It's still very refreshing.
No, and for me, with the trouble I have with some of the Belgians, is you say witch hazel, juicy fruit, and it's some of them make them really great. If it gets too overpowering, I'm not a big fan. So this one to me doesn't. It's very drinkable.
Yeah. Well, that's wit beers is one of my first the craft beers that I really gravitated towards.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, and it's just because it's such an interesting character. I mean, for me, almost from a culinary standpoint, it was like that coriander just captivated me. I immediately was like, oh, this is coriander. You've been hearing about coriander all your life, or well, not that you hear about it that often, but it's seeing recipes and this and that. And it's just one of those things that I think it's an amazing flavor. I do have to throw out one caveat though. Coriander to some people is perceived on the palate as being kind of soapy. Some people will take immediately. It's not a good flavor for them. I'm not among those. Sometimes even in our own wit beer, sometimes I'll taste it and be like, it kind of almost tastes like or smells like copper tan suntan lotion. It kind of has that. I mean, it's a flavor you start to recognize it in things.
Sure.
Fruit Loops is another thing that often is thrown out when we talk about wit beers.
Which we've talked about in the past. Absolutely.
Fruit Loops.
Maybe that's why I like it.
You are a Fruit Loop.
So it is Allagash White,
well, there you go.
and I'm a big fan actually. I think this is nice. I can see why everybody seems to like it and know it. I'm glad to be introduced to it. It seems to be very nice. A very nice beer. So if you have any questions or comments about what we do here at BeerAmerica.tv, it's Pink at BeerAmerica.tv and Paul at BeerAmerica.tv. And we have to thank the people at the distillery, because we also shoot at the Moon River, and now we're here at the distillery in Savannah, Georgia. And it's nice to be here as well. So
we're up in the mezzanine.
We're up on the
got
mezzanine
a great
of the
view
bar,
of the patrons
with the fine crowd.
Here, I'll move down so you can see.
21 taps of American craft beer down there. It's a really a great place. So Allagash White, 5% alcohol, which is very drinkable as well, I think.
Very,
and if you want to know more about BeerAmerica.tv, you can find us on Facebook. Twitter is also a really great place to find us. And become a fan on Facebook as well. We have our own fan page. If you didn't know, are you?
I'm a fan.
You're a fan.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
Oh boy. Yeah, half your family's a fan. Actually, that makes them half our fan base. So it's a good thing.
Cool.
Half of my family?
I don't know. I get a lot of Pinkertons. Like, I don't know, your brother and your wife and
Oh right, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Glad you visit the site. Anyway.
I've got so much time to
cheers.
stick around online.
What do you do all day? You brew beer.
He just likes looking at himself.
Cheers, gentlemen. And cheers to you. Thanks a lot for everybody.
Oops.
Ching, ching.